There's no such thing as sugarcoating in crypto. Everything you see and hear are things that are based off of real-time data that fluctuates just as fast as lightning. One day, you're up and swimming in a sea of greens and gains. The next day, all you're seeing is red and the whole market is declining. We've told you countless times how volatility is the name of the game here in crypto, and it is entirely up to you to make the decision that will dictate how your investment will grow in time. The decline can get pretty disappointing, so it is not really a surprise seeing people escort themselves out of the crypto space without even seeing the big things unravel. But best believe that patience is the key to making it in crypto. This is why even with the bear market and a lot of disheartening updates that we have been seeing in the past couple of months, you still see a lot of people stay, and even more so, invest. The pie is not yet close to going stale, but not a lot is enough for people to have a bite of. This is Diversified Streams, your go-to YouTube channel for all things crypto. If you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on the latest news and tips related to crypto, and make sure to keep your notifications on so you'll be updated with our latest videos. We post frequently so you wouldn't want to miss it. In today's video, we will be talking about yet another attempt by a platform to be included in the Bitcoin craze. It is all about BlackRock buying up Bitcoin, which you may have already known based on the title, but I'll say it anyway. We also have some updates that you would definitely want to hear. So let's not waste any more time and address the elephant in the room. Fresh out of the oven, BlackRock has announced that it will be launching a new private spot called Bitcoin Trust. The name is pretty overt and needs not too much explaining. But yes, you're hearing it right. I am pretty sure that if you are an active crypto investor, you'd have heard of their name at least once or twice. BlackRock is the world's biggest asset manager with a total accumulated asset of $10 trillion. Of course, despite the fact that they're doing very well on their own, they want to utilize the popularity that surrounds Bitcoin, and I truly get it. They believe, the same as everyone does, that Bitcoin is the safest and most budding currency there is in the market. And as more people get giddy about what's in store for all Bitcoiners in the future, they decided to let their clients be more exposed to Bitcoin through a trust. You need to know, though, that what they are offering is a trust, which is like an intermediary for investors to buy Bitcoin. Why turn to a trust instead of just buying Bitcoin directly, you might ask? That's because there are no more extra responsibilities for the investors to think of the coin's management once they buy it through the trust. In this case, BlackRock will be the one to manage the coins for them. Also, this service of BlackRock is not accessible worldwide at the moment, and they only cater to institutional investors in the US. This essentially means that you would need to be accredited in order to experience this new feature of the company. This might seem like a stumbling block for the company, especially when Bitcoin's activity is dispersed on a global scale. But I am thinking of it as a baby step in preparation of a giant leap that BlackRock would take in the future. I get the limitations as I assume they are also putting in some time, effort, and assets into making this thing possible. And hey, if worst does indeed come to worst and the plan does not work out, minimal losses will only be incurred. What do you guys think of this move by BlackRock? Do you think that it is a good thing to do given the performance of Bitcoin today? Or will it be an unfortunate flop that will only be an expense for the company? Let us know your thoughts by sharing them in the comments down below. Also, you'll be doing a big favor with just the small gesture of giving this video a like and our channel a subscribe. It helps with the algorithm, and most importantly, makes you a part of our crypto community. If you've done it already, then let's head on to the other updates that we have for you. Let's take a break from Bitcoin today and talk about Ethereum. And I think you all are going to like it because it feels like our waiting is finally coming to an end. The real merge that is set to take place in Ethereum now has tentative dates, which will most likely fall anywhere between September 15, 16, or 20th. This information, I'd like to believe, is not merely an assumption by the community, as it actually came from the network's consensus layer call, which a lot of Ethereum developers are part of. The third and final testnet merge proved to be successful when it launched, so these dates that we just dropped are very likely true. Even if they aren't, which I doubt, We are just basically waiting for Ethereum to signal the green light. If the merge is really coming through, we also will be seeing the Bellatrix mainnet fork. It comes first, and then 2 weeks later, the main event, which is the actual merge, takes place. If what the developers say are true, the Bellatrix mainnet will happen on the 6th of September, and it will basically catalyze the merge and get things finally started for Ethereum. Take good note of the 14-day countdown after Bellatrix, and make sure that you have your calendars marked for the big day. If you hold Ethereum, you probably won't be having any decent sleep out of the excitement. And the merge at this point is just inevitable, and people are really getting invested by the day. Google searches relevant to Ethereum continue to increase as the impending merge draws near. And I think that that's kind of expected because we've never seen something as big and grand as this take place in the entirety of crypto, at least not in recent times. I also want to share with you a news update about Ripple and Celsius, which is basically about the former showing intent in buying the latter's assets. This is coming from Routers, and a spokesperson apparently told this to them, so it is most likely true. Anyway, this move from Ripple does not necessarily mean that they will buy everything Celsius owns. That's just too much. They will only acquire assets that will be useful for them, which I think is a fair trade between the two. All the remaining assets of the crypto lender are up for grabs, as they still have some cryptocurrencies, Celsius tokens, and other digital assets that other buyers can opt to buy. Celsius seems to have a handful of assets in their inventory, and yet they still do not have enough of it to cover the liabilities that they have acquired through time. And Ripple, despite not being the largest creditor of Celsius, still showed interest in the company's assets. Our last and final update is about Polygon, and it is all about the decentralized apps that are in the network. The number of decentralized apps in Polygon has skyrocketed by 400% as per recent update, and that is over 37,000 apps when counted. These figures were revealed through a blog post that was published in the network site last August 10, and the data was retrieved from the partnered Web3 platform Alchemy. These numbers seem inviting and good, but it does not necessarily mean that these apps are all active. There might be a handful of them that are already collecting dust, so that's one thing to note. Also, it is not always about these numbers, as the developers are also one factor to look into. But hey, these numbers do not lie, and regardless of the fact that some of them might not be active, this is still an indicator that the Polygon community is expanding. Still a pretty good feat for Polygon. And that marks the end of today's video. I hope that you have become much wiser after watching today's content. If you have anything to share in the comments about crypto, do not hesitate to leave them in the comments down below because we love to see your thoughts flooding in. Also, if you haven't yet, please consider giving this video a like and our channel a subscribe so you'll be a part of our growing community. This has been Diversified Streams. Thanks for tuning in, and see you in our next video.